Thanks for listening to the Vinyl Word Podcast. This episode was recorded in a professional studio, but Brian nor I are professional podcasters, so the sound didn't come out quite the way we wanted to on the first try. But trust me, it will get better. So, hope you enjoy this episode.
Welcome back to Count on Losing This Sunday, the exclusive podcast for pessimistic Colts fans.
As appropriate as that would be, Brian, this is not that podcast.
It's not.
Welcome back to the Vinyl Word. As always, this is Steve Beach.
And I'm Brian Mayer. Hello.
You know, on that same note, though, I would probably start a podcast too. Call it the Bungles or Burrow and Hyde for those Bengals fans.
Yeah, like the loss of Joe Burrow is a big deal.
Yes, it is.
As a fan of football, Joe, heal up, get better, because the league is better with you in it.
Yes, it is. But anyway, we're not here to talk about sports. We're here to do a podcast.
Yes, we are.
Right? Yes. Okay. So we have gone back into, like you said, the Here How To series.
These records have treated us very well.
Yes.
And I'm excited that we found another one.
Yes, yes. And going into Thanksgiving just makes me think about, you know, it's fun having friends over, family, you know, you're having dinner and everything else. But, you know, of course, the horrible part is cleaning up afterwards. You know, all the leftovers and stuff.
There's always a huge pile of dishes. You get that turkey juice and ham juice over everything, including the floor. And
right.
It's a pain to get up unless you have
dogs.
Yes.
Which you have too, and I have too.
Yes.
Yeah, so all that gravy that gets spilled or cranberry juice, you know, sauce, whatever that gets spilled on the floor, that doesn't happen as often. It happens, but you don't have to worry about mopping it up later.
I already have a fatter dog.
Yeah, I'm sure you do. Because of that. So, which leads us into our record today.
Yes, this one is Hear How to Train Your Dog. And interestingly enough, it is the spouse of a famous dog trainer, but not actually the dog trainer. The dog trainer was late.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, we'll find out why. But yeah, it's the wife of a famous dog trainer, and so famous I can't remember his name.
Yeah, like for whatever reason, we don't have the cover with us, so I can't comment on it right now.
Yeah,
but
I didn't bring it with us today. Sorry.
Okay, Sarah, Steve.
Yep. All right. Well, with that, let's drop that needle.
All right, let's get it going.
My late husband, Lee Duncan, never liked to be referred to as a dog trainer.
Brian.
He much preferred to be known as master and friend to Rin Tin
Oh, that's
Tin.
so bad.
As he so often says,
he's
a
always going to
dog
be late.
is a reflection of his master. I would like to begin by saying, when you start the training of your dog, remember that your dog is a reflection of you. So his manners and behavior
my dog is Oakley. He's white and fluffy, just like me.
them to be. Try to be at least half as good as your dog thinks you are. That's another of Lee's theories and a good one to remember. As you start your training, think of your puppy as you would of a little child and treat him as
so I
such.
should rub my kid's nose in their
And if
poop
you
when they make a
apply little
mess?
psychology
I bet that
along
would
with your
work.
training,
I'm sure.
you will gain that much more understanding of your dog. Keep in mind
Think like a
these
dog.
3 words
Right.
as guideposts to success as a trainer:
And then key on
patience,
that signpost.
firmness, and common sense.
That
Too great
last one no
stress
longer exists in
cannot
our
be
society.
placed on these
No, not in the
qualities.
21st century.
Be soft-spoken and gentle, because your dog may
When
be
you
slow
say
to learn
shame,
like some
shame.
children. Go slowly and praise him if he does what you
I
ask
got
him to do.
praise him like
Praise
I
is a motive
should.
power in the training of your dog. I think another point to remember is one Lee often stressed: before you can teach a dog anything, he must first learn to love you, his trainer. And like a child, he must learn to love his teacher in order to learn anything. It is very important that you
That always
build
works
his
out well for the
confidence
teachers
in
in high
you.
school.
Right.
Before the dog can learn what you want to teach him, you must understand thoroughly what it is he is to learn, how he is to
Just
learn,
learn and learn and learn.
how he feels about it.
So if you want to teach
you
your
must
dog
know
thermofluid
more than your
dynamics,
dog
be a
before you can
scientist.
train him. Study your dog. Is he the shy,
Steady,
nervous type?
steady.
Or is he quick, alert, and eager to learn.
Is he
Understand your
quick?
dog before you begin. If he is slow to catch on, be gentle
He's
with
probably
him until
me.
you have the key to his personality. Otherwise, you might break his spirit, and you will have a difficult time of training him. Make a real companion of your dog from the first, and he will learn to look upon you as a wonderful creature.
As someone to
When you
provide
have
meat.
this perfect
You're right.
understanding between you and your dog, it will be lots of fun for both of you, and the lessons can begin.
How do dogs want their sex, Stephen?
The
Oh,
very
right.
first thing you must decide
Ha.
when selecting your puppy is what size he'll be when fully grown.
Start
He
with
won't
the
be
end
a
in
little
mind.
puppy very
Stephen, our
long
cubby.
if he
Right.
is of the larger variety.
You want Chihuahua or a
Also
small
ask
horse?
yourself how much time you are going to have to devote to your dog.
If it's less
He will
than
need
20
a
hours,
great deal of love
don't
and
get
devotion
a
to
dog.
develop into a satisfactory member of your family.
Oh, that's
If
how
you
Laura
are looking
describes
for a
me.
dog to be a playmate for children, avoid the toy breeds, which
I
are
like how she
really
says
too
toys
fragile
for kids,
to
and you
withstand
should not
children
get kids'
mauling them.
toys.
Right.
The time to
That'd be
select your
perfect.
puppy is right out of the
You would
nest at
think.
6 weeks of age.
Right out of the
after
nest?
his mother has
Are
turned
you
him out
supposed to
into
buy a
the
griffin
world,
or something?
and he will be wholly
Doggies
dependent
are
upon
breeds
you
now.
for
I
his
guess.
care. You should
Can your
assume
doggy
full
fly? I don't know. Let's see.
responsibility for the feeding
just got
and
him out of the
training
nest.
of your young charge. Make it a point
Today
to
we're
be with
teaching
your
poodles
dog
how to fly.
personally as much as possible if you are going to be the trainer, and always feed him yourself. He must learn to look up to you as master
You
or
are the
mistress.
giver of food.
Too often, all the members of the family wish to have a finger or a whole hand in bringing up a dog.
Well, keep
with
it
the
out of the
result
dog's
he
mouth,
doesn't know
Right,
who
idiot.
to obey,
Where they
and
put
he is
that finger
puzzled.
matters a lot.
After all
Yes,
the
it does.
lessons are thoroughly
That's why I don't let
learned,
my dogs lick
then
me, 'cause I know
someone
where it's
else can
been.
take him through his paces at times, but until then, remember, one teacher and one only.
Like the Sith.
Dogs have expressions that reflect their personalities. So look for soft brown eyes that indicate a
She's a
loving
dog
and
racist, Brian.
gentle
She only
nature.
thinks you should buy a dog with brown
Confirmation is
eyes.
There are
most
no huskies here.
important.
I guess.
See that he has
They're
good
evil.
structure and proper lines, a dog you can be proud of. Look for good strong bones, a well-shaped head, and ears are also
Don't buy a dog with a triangle
and
head.
above
Right.
all, look at his coat.
Triangle
This will
head,
tell you if he
triangle
is a
head.
healthy puppy. His coat should be alive-looking, not mangy or dry.
This reminds me of
and his eyes will be
one of my
bright,
early
clear.
dates in high school.
Look in his mouth to see that he has good healthy teeth and gums.
Before he
Temperament
bites
is
you.
most important in selecting a puppy. To test him for shyness, clap your hands, and if he runs
Or
away
take him
from
to a
you,
bar.
forget
Okay.
about him and look for another puppy. But if he comes bounding to you,
I'm skittish
it's an
around large,
indication
loud noises,
that he
too.
has no fear
Yeah.
It
and
doesn't
has
mean
a
I
happy
shouldn't be trained or
disposition.
loved.
Don't discredit one that is standoffish. This isn't shyness.
Unless
He
it's
is
wearing
just
a beret and
reserved
smoking
and
thin
not
black
the overly
cigarettes.
friendly type. Also observe him for alertness by snapping your fingers in back of him to test his hearing. Also look for that friendly approach in the puppy.
Da-da-da-da.
Not one that will slink away when he sees you coming.
Slinky. Yes. Hey, wait,
The
wait,
breed
wasn't there
to
a Slinky
select
dog in
will
Toy Story?
depend on your
Yes.
home.
There was a Slinky dog.
If
There
it
was.
is an apartment in the city, then the smaller and more quiet breeds would be more favorable.
Unless you plan on
such
using the
as
dog as a
Basset
bed.
Hound, Cocker Spaniel, Pekingese, French Poodle, or the very
Hey,
lovable
you know you
Dachshund.
should never breed a
For the
Shih Tzu with a
country
poodle.
or a big city
Why
lot,
is
the
that, buddy?
larger variety,
'Cause you get a Shih Tzu.
Collie, German Shepherd, Great Dane, Sporting and
I
Hound
like it.
breeds, or the Terrier breeds are but a few of the many breeds to mention. Contact a good veterinary near you, one in whom you will have complete confidence. Have him examine your
Oh,
puppy to
him.
make sure he is in
Yeah.
good health.
Not her.
Also
Yeah.
ask his advice
On
about
dating or financial
inoculations
services.
needed in your community.
Female
Your
vets are
vet
inherently
is a good man
untrustworthy.
to
Yeah,
know,
they are.
like your family doctor, should anything go wrong with your puppy.
They're weak and can barely throw
Shall
a
your
bowling
new
ball.
dog be male or female? When it
Good
comes
reference,
to
I like that.
general health and intelligence, both sexes are equal, As
But one
for
is more
cleanliness
equal
and
than others.
habits around
Right.
the house,
Girl
a
dogs are
properly
clearly
trained
better.
Male
Yes.
is in no sense objectionable. So it is just a matter of preference whether you like a male or a female.
I feel like this is how
Both
our
are
wives
good,
talk about
and
us.
both have their own
Probably.
distinguishing
He's
advantages.
fine now that he's properly
It is
trained.
entirely up to you, and
He doesn't
you
mind
alone
shopping
will have
now.
to decide which
He used
sex
to hate
it
it.
will be.
But now he just sits and watches me.
Hey, Steve, what do you call a female dog?
Oh yeah, it's a
Select a
bit.
suitable
girl.
name for your pet.
Oh, yeah. There's
One
that
that is
too.
short so he will make no mistake that you mean him when you say his name. Don't pick
No.
an idiotic
I mean the
name
bird
that
in the
people
tree.
will
That's what I'm
laugh
talking
at.
to.
He doesn't deserve this,
Say
and
my
it
name.
will only embarrass him to have people laugh at him. So pick a name that suits him. If he is
Like
a
Bob
pedigree
or
dog,
Kevin.
you might want to choose an appropriate kennel name for him. But for his call name,
There's a
it
list
could
of
be
kennel names?
different or
Yeah.
a derivative
like-
of his
list?
registered
Is that like the
kennel
baby
name.
book you buy when you
For
first become a
instance,
parent?
the name Rin Tin Tin is shortened to Rin, and the puppies are called either Rin
Rinnies.
or
Oh.
Rinny. You
Rin
might
2,
choose a
Rin
name
3.
like Valiant and
I like
call your
that.
dog Val for short.
Or
Teach
Valium.
him his name as soon as you bring him home. Be sure that you learn how to pick your puppy up the right way so as not to injure his legs or to pull his shoulders out of place. You could
Sew a handle
disfigure
on the
him
top.
if you do it wrong. A fat little healthy puppy is heavy, so it is best not to handle him too much. But it is such a
Just let him roll
temptation
around in your
to
living
pick
room
up
since
a
he's so
puppy
fat.
and cuddle him. Place your hand under his chest with your fingers between his front legs and your other hand under his rump to
Uh-oh.
support
With
his
all
weight.
that rump. All that
That
Never
rump up
lift
in
a
your
puppy
trunk.
by his neck. This hurts, and you might make
This
him
hurts.
hand shy.
I bet it does.
Don't
Yeah.
hesitate for a moment to reprimand anyone who has not learned the proper way to pick up
Scold your
puppy.
friends in public.
Yes.
Leash break your
Publicly
dog
shame
as
them.
soon as
They
he is old
love
enough.
that.
Bad
Both
friend,
collar
bad
and
friend.
leash are
Shame.
important in the life of your pet, so he must become familiar with them. Let him wear a light 3-foot sash cord loosely around
Or
his
a
neck
bright colored
so
scarf.
that he will become
They'll look
accustomed to wearing the collar.
fabulous.
Let the short end dangle about his neck and have him
She
wear
said
it
dangle.
for about an hour
Yep.
or two at
She
a
did.
time. You might use a lightweight leather collar for this, but don't let
Or
him
leather
wear the
jacket.
collar all the time. It will spoil the
He's a
dog's
Harley
ruff,
dog.
and
It'll
also
spoil
it
the
could be
dog.
dangerous. He
Only
might
his
get
name is
caught on
Harley.
a chair
Right.
or fence and choke himself. The age to start training your puppy will depend on the breed as well as the temperament and
Let
mental
him tell you when he's
ability
ready.
of your dog. Most dogs
I'm ready,
begin
master.
their formal training at 6 months of age. Of course, housebreaking the puppy should begin as soon as you bring him home.
You should teach them how to use a
It is
fork at
so
the dinner
easy
table.
to teach them good habits right
You know,
from the
that's
first,
really impressive since
rather
they
than
don't
to
have
them
thumbs.
develop
That would be
bad
impressive.
habits that might not be easy to correct. The
Mm-hmm.
good habits can be taught early in the puppy's upbringing. However, some of the cute tricks
they'll quit
that
doing
most
it when they're
puppies love to
teenagers.
do,
Yeah, I was
such
gonna say, are we
as
talking
retrieving
about
a ball,
dogs still
picking
or
up a
children?
newspaper,
Yeah, I don't know.
shaking
There's a
hands,
blurry
and
line there, I
sitting
think.
up, can be taught in easy stages as soon as a puppy has become adjusted to his new home and surroundings.
Okay.
Do these tricks as long as the puppy is willing to do them.
So you want your puppy to
Don't
do tricks?
overdo. It is so easy to cause your
What
puppy
tricks?
to become sour
Did she
on
say any
training,
tricks?
No,
and he
she
may
didn't.
lose
So
his
tricks in a
willingness to
generalized,
work.
non-specific
It is
sense.
best to go slowly
stand on the
first
corner and
with
accept
training
money.
to see
Not
how
those
much
kind
he
of
will
tricks.
Oh,
react
sorry.
We've been
without
through
becoming
this.
confused. Don't bother him with too many lessons in good manners until he is old enough to understand. The brain of a
He'll
puppy
refuse and quit
under 10
college.
weeks
Just
of age
leave out
is
Ann
too
Landers' columns.
undeveloped to
He'll get it.
comprehend the why and wherefore of regular training. So
What
be
about the
patient,
here to?
kind, and
To go with the
understanding at all
wherefore.
times.
Right.
If the pup is inclined to be timid, take special pains not to let him be
Pains?
frightened in
Good
any
thing training
way
a dog should be
whatever.
painful.
A young puppy is extremely impressionable, and a severe fright will have a far-lasting effect on him than most people imagine. However, if he is a normal, healthy pup and of the more active breed, at the age of 9 or 10 weeks, he'll want to tear into things, chew curtains and
He'll wanna
rugs,
borrow the car
or
keys and
anything
stay out late.
else soft and dangling that is within
Whatever,
reach.
Dad.
Be
I
patient
gotta
with
go.
him.
You don't
This is a
understand
natural
me.
instinct to develop jaws and teeth. Remove temptation from his reach, and when he is caught in the act of destroying furniture, tap him on the side of the jaw hard enough to make him look up in surprise
Hard
and
enough.
say sharply, "No, no." It is
Or in German, it's
remarkable how
nine,
even
nine.
a little puppy will soon
Or
learn
Russian,
this
"Нет, нет."
lesson if he is taught from the first.
Like it. We're getting a very
Immediately give him his
international
own
view.
I know,
toy
we
to
are.
play with and tell him, "This is yours." At the very start of your training, get over to your dog that when you say his name, it is an attention getter and that a command will follow. For instance, if your dog should get loose from you the first time you take him away from home,
Say
and
round
if he
one.
becomes confused and runs across the
Hadouken.
street in heavy traffic, say his name so that you will have his attention. Then tell him to stay or down
Stay in the middle of
until
traffic.
you can
Right.
get to him.
Yeah.
This could be disastrous.
You
If he comes
think?
to you on his name alone when you call him,
If this
he might
happens,
be hit by
just
a
get
car
a new
and
puppy.
be killed.
Guess what? They're everywhere.
Be sure your puppy is ready for his first training lessons.
Obviously, dodging
Some dogs
traffic.
learn very quickly, and with others it will
Lesson one,
take time
don't
and a great
die.
deal of patience. If he shows signs of not being interested, go slowly with him, and by all means don't force him to do anything he doesn't want to do. This is most
If he wants to watch
important.
cat videos on
Avoid
YouTube,
fear
let him.
training.
Yeah, just
You can
coddle your
accomplish
dog.
much more through praise. You might get quicker results with threats and whippings, but you might
Yes.
break his spirit.
the way it works in my
Your dog will
house.
do his
With some
commands
dogs,
not
maybe.
because he wants to please you, but because he fears of what might happen to him if he doesn't do what you tell him.
Or it could
It
be
makes
both.
a much happier relationship between you and your dog if he likes to work and he knows he can please you. No one wants
am
to
a
be
little hard
punished
hat.
all the time.
A little metal
When he has
lunchbox.
completed his exercise
Hey,
and done
it's
it
work
well,
today.
he knows he will get a pat and praise, "Good dog," from you, which he will be looking for. He will be most eager to please his master, and through praise, you will
He
gain
wants
so much
to please
more.
the
So make it a
master,
happy time.
Brian.
Don't fall
so
into
happy
the
when
easy
Torgo shows
solution
up.
of giving him a tidbit as a reward
What
for
is
the
a tidbit,
performance of an
Steve?
It's a bit
exercise.
of tid.
It'll work
Okay, well,
some
that
of the
makes-
time, but
Hey!
not always. Praise
Making
is
fun of me.
recommended.
It's equal to 2
However,
Scotias.
don't
Okay.
spoil your dog with too much attention either. This isn't good. Make
Have
your
you
first
been around
lessons
dogs?
I don't
short.
think so.
The
They're
length of
black holes
time
of
should be
need.
I
20
know.
to 30 minutes a day. It can
Only
be
30
10
minutes?
minutes in the morning and 10 minutes in the
Steve,
evening.
how much time do
but
your
it should
dogs
be every
demand of
day.
you?
The
All of
lessons
it.
can be
Yeah.
extended as he learns and as he is willing to go on with the exercises. A word of caution: by all means, don't overtrain your dog.
Or he
If is
might take over the
listless
household.
And not feeling well, forget the training period for that day.
Who's the alpha
Dogs,
now,
like
Daddy?
people, have off days too. Never work your dog on a full stomach. He will be more alert and attentive on an empty stomach.
I have more energy on a full
Feed
stomach.
him after he has
You want your
finished his
dog
lesson.
hungry and weak.
It is best to wait
That
at
is when
least
they're
2
most
hours
impressionable.
after feeding.
Starve him to
before you
obedience.
work your dog. He will be less apt to have an upset
This
stomach.
is the way.
Your work
It is.
area should vary, so the dog will not become bored and uninterested. The backyard could become dull routine to him. Occasionally, take him to the park or playground area. This is good
And play
training
with
for
all the
him,
children.
so
Yep.
he will learn to work whenever and wherever you ask him to.
It's
However,
working time.
don't take him downtown into heavy traffic until you have full control over him, and then, of
And your
course,
bowels.
always on a leash.
Steve, favorite dog show, Paw Patrol or
Never
Westminster?
punish your dog. He does
Paw
not
Patrol.
You missed it.
understand
Okay.
punishment. He is corrected. And by all means, never whip your dog. You will only confuse him and make him
Unless
afraid
he
of you.
likes it.
Correct him with no, no, or shame. And if he
Shame?
continues to
I didn't know she was
disobey,
Catholic.
Shut him up in the garage or a room by himself and let him know
Wait,
he is
isolate him, but don't
disobeying.
punish him.
Do it
Yeah, that's
immediately
confession.
after he has
I guess.
disobeyed, so he will know the reason for
Forgive me,
being
Father,
locked
for I have
up.
sinned. I've dug
When
3
you
holes in the
scold him,
backyard today.
Be firm and yet use a soft voice. Don't shout
And I
at
killed
him.
3 squirrels.
He won't understand
Please forgive
you.
me.
Voice inflections in training is so important. Distinctive tones of voice for different commands, a praising tone, an indignant tone,
praising
for
tone, a
correction
bad
of
tone.
mistake should be practiced.
A
Make
Christopher
training
Walken
a happy
tone.
period
Hey,
for your dog.
I want
Enjoy your
you
work.
to
He will
sit.
be most eager to please you. A little praise will accomplish so much more than a
I've got
spanking.
to praise
After all,
him
you are
like I
working
should.
with an animal, not a human being. A dog doesn't retain the memory of a mishap for very long.
That's a
It
short-term
is for a
memory.
moment, so the correction must come immediately
That's
after
a
the
good little
mishap.
SNL skit right there.
It is.
First and foremost, you must gain your puppy's confidence and trust. Never make quick or sudden movements toward your puppy, as this will
So don't go,
frighten him. Let him come to you. When
You
you
okay there,
want
Brian?
your puppy to come to you,
Steve,
stoop down
don't
and say,
do that.
"Come," in a quiet tone. Hold out your hand and snap your fingers.
Snap.
If he runs from you,
Snap.
step backward or turn away from him, and he will think you are leaving and will follow you. While if you approach the dog, he
Yeah.
thinks he is to be punished and will turn away to avoid being caught.
And we'll ask you for
Let
more.
him set the pace, and don't force
I
him
have
to
been
play
so
if
bad,
he seems
master.
drowsy or disinterested. Always let him come to you.
She done?
Always
Oh,
take your
no.
dog to the same spot and stay with him until he has relieved himself.
Oh, we're in the
Walk with
whizzing
him
part.
until
Oh,
he
yeah.
has found the
Make
right
sure he
spot
stands
and then
properly at the
stand
urinal.
perfectly still. Don't move. You will distract
Two
his
paws up on the
attention.
wall.
You might have a special phrase or word
Reading the
for this
funnies.
part of his training,
Give a little
such
shake
as
at the end.
get busy or potty. But be sure he
You
understands
could say,
what you
commence
mean.
bowel movement.
By taking
Yep.
him to the
Fire
same
in the
spot
hole.
each time, he soon associates the reason for that visit, and after he has taken care of himself, praise him with a pat and say, "Good
And make
dog."
sure he only uses
Then
cotton
you are
now.
ready to
Only
bring
the
him
best
in
for
the
my
house
dogs.
or take him with you in
that's
the car,
nice.
and you are sure he will be comfortable for an hour or two. It is most important that you train him properly in this respect, and if he should happen to
Yeah.
relieve himself in a favorite flower garden, let him know immediately that you are displeased with him and say, "Shame." Then take him to the area that you have selected for this purpose
And rub his
repeat
nose in
the
it.
word or phrase you have associated with his bathroom habit.
Do you have a neighbor
My
you
husband
don't
was
like?
never in favor
Point them
of
that
putting
direction.
newspapers
Right.
down on the floor for the puppies to use. He felt that every time the pup saw a newspaper on the floor, it was there for his benefit. When the puppy is small,
So don't
it
use
will take
newspapers
a
for
great
training.
deal of perseverance and patience to housebreak him properly.
You know, you
and
can
it
tell
will
a
be
dog's political
necessary
persuasion
that
by
he be
which
taken out every few
ones they'll pee
hours
on,
so
though.
he knows
Like if you have a New York Times and a
if
Washington
he has
Post.
been
Right, which one did the
staying
pee
in
on?
house
Yeah.
for some time, take him outside to his area immediately when he wakes up. It will take constant watching at this point. However, if the weather
Puppies.
is cold and it
Times
isn't
suck.
convenient
All
to
the
keep him
time.
outside,
Yes.
put newspapers in a spot such
Wait.
as the corner of the service porch
said
or
don't
near
use
an
newspapers,
outside
didn't she?
door,
Yeah, she did.
preferably
And then she said
with
lay down
linoleum or
newspapers.
This
tile
is called both
flooring.
sides of the mouth.
Place the puppy
Right.
on the papers, and if he does what you want him to do, praise him. Try to show him that you are
Praise
pleased
him,
with his
praise
conduct.
him. Golden or
Also,
blessed
check your pet
retriever.
shop for housebreaking equipment that is now on the market. If he should make a mistake and soil a rug or the floor, scold him as you
Wash
hold him
it.
near the spot
Sit
and
him
then
down
brush
and
him
calmly
with his
explain
paper.
in a reasonable tone why he should choose other places to go.
Right.
Yeah, I forgot that the record ends so very abruptly.
It does. It's like it doesn't say, well, listen more for the other side. It just says, we're going to do this.
Yeah. You know,
And
right. It really seems like they missed an opportunity here. Like, do you remember the books with the 45s that were like, when you hear this tone?
oh, yeah. Yeah. You'll know it's time to turn the page when you hear the chimes ring like this. Ring.
Yeah, you know, like they really missed a chance here to say, like, you know, like at the end of the next lesson, you will know.
You know it's time for the next lesson when you hear the dog bark.
Yep. It's just the way. But dogs are such a fascinating topic to me.
They are.
Like, in that we took a superior hunting animal and we made it dumber and codependent.
And docile. Yeah, and codependent on us.
And
Yeah.
like, and now they almost don't know how to hunt at all because we provide pre-processed food for them
Yes.
in a giant bag, and they just wait for us, the magic small god.
Bring steak in my bowl. That's amazing. How did you do that?
I know, and they're just like, this is the most amazing thing in the world. And then, like, the only thing we're like, you know, is like, come cuddle with me for 6 minutes later, and then I will let you outside so you can pee on things and murder a squirrel.
Right. Yeah, I was going to say, I beg to differ a little bit with my husky, at least. I don't know how many like wild rabbits and squirrels and things that he's massacred outside, just wild animals in our backyard,
Yeah.
mice or whatever else. But yeah, but I'm convinced though that if I were to drop off my dogs in the middle of the forest and let them be and just abandon them, I'm sure they wouldn't last any more than a day.
Oh, like my dogs wouldn't even make it to the forest.
Right.
Like, they would jump out of the car as it was driving down the highway because they don't understand.
Right. They don't, yeah, because they've lost a lot of those hunting skills. So, hey, I've been talking about on our social media and everything that we have big news coming up. And so our big announcement is Vinyl Word has its own app, Brian.
What?
No, I'm kidding. No,
That
but
hurt my feelings.
but the real truth is we are recording today in a professional studio.
Yes, we are.
Yes. So if you're listening today and it sounds a little bit better, maybe not our jokes, but maybe just the quality of the voice, you could say.
Now
If it sounds better, this is why.
now that you say it that way, I'm a little worried because if people can more easily tell that I'm a hack writer, I want to go back to the way it was.
Right. No, but we, our local library, Greenwood Public Library, recently built this podcasting studio, and they also have some other studios in here that you can do some video recording and such. And so that's where we are at today. So we're very thankful to them, and this is just an awesome place to be.
Yeah.
The professional recording equipment and everything. So we are grateful to them. So if you live in Greenwood area, make sure you come by and visit your Greenwood Library because it's more than just books.
Well, we should also specify Greenwood, Indiana. Because
Yes, sorry.
people listen to us in more than just
South
this.
Carolina?
Yeah.
Right. Indiana, yes. Thank you. Thank you for
No
that.
problem at all. And Steve, transitioning to that, I think that you have been paying attention to our stats and realize that we have people listening in other towns.
all kinds of places, all over the U.S. and even in some other countries and stuff, which is really cool. We're going to announce a town where our podcast has been downloaded. And if you email us at vinylword22@gmail.com, we will send you not one, Brian, but 2 Vinyl Word coasters.
That's pretty cool.
Free of charge.
Yeah.
It is. So one of the places that we get a lot of downloads from is Floyd's Knobs, Indiana.
I have family down there, but I don't think that I've told them about this. So I'm wondering who that could be.
Right. So anyway, but yeah, if that's your town, send us an email, like I said, vinylword22@gmail.com, and just, give us your address. We're not going to sell it or anything else. We're not going to sell your information.
Oh, he's lying. This is one of our revenue generating tricks right here.
No, in all honesty, yeah, we will not sell the information, but we will send you a couple of Vinyl Word coasters, and we're hoping, to maybe do a little bit more. Not that we're going to become like world famous, but maybe do some stickers, maybe a T-shirt or something.
Yeah.
In the future.
Yeah, Steve and I had a recent conference where we spent an afternoon focusing about this, and we settled on internet famous. We just want to be internet famous.
Right.
I want to be able to grocery shop and not have people bother me. So
I don't think that'll ever be a concern.
well, listen. My therapist says I'm delusional, but what do they know? I'm forced to go to them anyway. So but. Yeah, it'd be fun to be able to do this for a little bit more. But again, Steve, I just want to keep getting better. And I think that this is part of it.
It helps, yes.
If we can sound better and we can feel better about it, then maybe we can write better.
Yep, absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
All right. Well, this has been an absolute... it's been a fun time to record. Steve, this has been enjoyable. There's some technical hiccups since we have new technology.
Right.
There's a soundboard now.
I know,
That's
which is really
new.
cool. Yeah. It's usually just my laptop, and that's about it. So.
Right.
But yeah, this has been pretty cool.
Right. And so it's now we're coming up into Christmas and Thanksgiving. So episodes may be a little more stretched. It depends on how busy we get.
Yeah. So so kind of closing out this year, there is a side to how to train your dog, and so we'll do that. And just like last year, we will do a year-end episode.
Yep.
We're still kind of tossing some ideas out there about what it's going to sound like. But yeah, then we'll finish up, and then we'll start season 3 next year, which is exciting.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to that
Yeah.
too very much, Steve.
Yeah. And so with that, thank you for listening, and have a happy Thanksgiving.
Steve, and as a reminder to everyone out there, not all records should be collected.
Ba-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da.